Gizmo, true to my word, I literally just turned off the camera on last week's vlog and I am starting this week's vlog. Happy Bookmas, happy Vlogmas, happy December of 2025. Gosh, this year went really quickly, but so many horrible things have happened and I'm excited to have the end of the year and start the year fresh. I'm always excited for the end of a year and the beginning of a new year. I do fall into that trap of new beginnings having to happen at times that are the beginning of the month or the beginning of the year. So I do look forward every year to December and like winding down and finishing out the year and trying to kind of complete things that have gone on through the year, and then in January finishing things, saying goodbye to the old year and saying hello to the new year. So I'm excited for all of that. That being said, even just saying that like makes me feel anxious about work and makes me feel anxious about all the things that I have to finish for work. I think working in a calendar year and doing something that has to end by the end of the calendar year but takes a month to finish, so like I won't finish my work year until the end of January, is a little bit like misleading. Like you think you have extra time, but actually you have less time. So you're just like, oh, well, I don't have to think about December until January. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, the year is over. It's January and now I have to wrap up everything and it feels stressful. So in work, I find that stressful, but in life, I'm happy for a new year. And I say a lot of horrible things have happened, but a lot of good things have happened too. It's hard to remember that there are good things and that there are kind people and that there is community and that there is love and that there is togetherness when it doesn't feel like the greater world remembers that, but I think it's important for us to all remember it. So again, thank you so much for joining me for these videos. Thank you for participating in my channel throughout the year. Thanks for hanging in with me when things get rough and things get, what's the word, out of sequence or out of schedule, off schedule, you know. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here. I hope that sometimes these videos are a little break from some of the bad things that are happening. So I wanted to talk about the books that I am currently reading. First and foremost, I am reading Tar Baby by Toni Morrison. This is the fourth Toni Morrison that I've read and the fourth in publication order. I'm reading her work this year in publication order. So this is the fifth book that I've read because I read Sula and I loved it and it blew my mind. I buddy read that with Maria from MH Books. She's no longer on YouTube. She is still on Instagram very briefly. I miss her channel and I miss her presence, but I hope she's doing well. And Sula was amazing and it blew my mind. And it was my first ever Toni Morrison. And then this year I decided that I wanted to read The Bluest Eye. So that is her first in publication order. And I decided, well, why not just read them all in publication order, right? So I read The Bluest Eye, then I reread Sula, then I read Songs of Solomon, and the fourth book in her oeuvre is Tar Baby. This one is really interesting so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. All her books are so different. I feel like I expect them to be the same, but then they're also different. But they are the same because her cadence and her luscious and lush, voluptuous like prose are similar in all her books, and her cadence and her style of writing is similar, at least in these first four that I've read. So it's like they are very different, but there's something familiar about them. I am a little over halfway through on this one, and I'm reading it pretty slowly. I'm only reading about 30 pages at a time. I do find with Morrison that her writing is so rich. It's like eating chocolate. Like it's like eating a rich dessert where like you want to devour it, you want to eat it all, but after a few bites, you become like overwhelmed and you become like stuffed and full of thought and full of ideas. So it's hard to gobble it all down in one sitting, I find. Now, when I reread Sula, I didn't feel that way. And I think when I first read Sula, I didn't either. I think Sula is, out of all the books out of all 4 of the books that I've read so far, her most accessible work. And so I do suggest starting with that one. But this one might be a good starting point too. I have to see. This one feels much, much more modern than her other books. It was written in 1981, I believe. And it feels very contemporary. It feels very much like modern day in many respects, not all respects. I'll save the synopsis and everything else for when I do my wrap up, but if you like Morrison and you haven't read this one so far, I would say pick this one up. Next, I am reading Time to Be in Earnest, which is a fragment of an autobiography by P.D. James. This one is also fantastic and fascinating. I've tabbed quite a lot. I'm much less of the way through. I think I'm only about 80, 90 pages through this one. Not even, well, maybe like just a quarter of the way through. This is a fragment of an autobiography. It's really a memoir and it's really a diary. So I guess P.D. James was in her 70s and she decided that she was going to write a memoir and she was going to write a diary. She said she wasn't a diarist and she wasn't a person who kept a diary. And she said that if an author kept a diary, it was for publication, which I thought was funny because this one clearly was for publication. So this is just a year of her life, not every single day, but most days, writing in her diary. Through her diary entries, she talks about whatever's going on with her at the moment, like appointments that she's had, things that she's done, events that she's gone to, friends that she's seen, but also she reminisces about her life throughout. I think it was a little bit more prevalent in the very beginning where she was giving you some background of her life, like thinking more in that manner, in that like writing an autobiography manner, whereas now a little of the ways in, it's a little bit more modern in her life. It was written in the 90s. August 97 to August 98 is the year that she wrote this. So it's a little bit more about her day-to-day currently, but I think we're going to go back and forth. We also get snippets of her feeling about writing. We also get snippets of her feelings about the modern day and the modern age. We also get snippets of her feelings about major life events, major world events that have happened. So it's really, really fascinating. I really like it. I love reading because I will always learn something from reading. Always. Every book that I read, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, I will learn something. And she just mentioned that she has a friend who's a neurosurgeon, and he said that as you get older, your brain actually is unable to filter out the important noises from the unimportant noises. So not only do you lose your hearing, you cannot distinguish automatically in your brain what is a noise that you need to pay attention to and what's not. So she was talking specifically about being in any situation where there's like loud music or people talking or cell phones, because cell phones are new things in the world. She hates the noise and she can't filter it out. And it was interesting because like obviously we all know that as we get older that it becomes harder to filter things out. And some people have that all the time. Some people have that from a very young age. So it's interesting that there is like an actual brain reason for that, as opposed to like you're just old and cranky and you're hearing noises that you don't want to hear, or you're hearing noises that are new to you. It's actually that you can't filter them out. So like I thought that was really fascinating and really interesting. P.D. James does come off as a old fuddy-duddy in this a lot. So like she definitely has some older ideas. Obviously she was born prior to the First World War. She saw that as a child. She went through the Second World War and worked for the war effort. And now it's the 90s. Like, wow, what a difference, right? She is a little bit of like an old lady, and there are definitely things she doesn't like. She doesn't like pop music. She doesn't like cell phones. She doesn't like, you know, this, that, or the other. So I think it's really, she doesn't love photography, you know, like I think it's really funny how much she is like being very honest and telling of her age. And she kind of, I think, relishes that a little bit as well, because like I think that's a rite of passage, or it was in the day, to a rite of passage to grow into old age and be able to be set in your ways. Okay, then I am also reading Never Whistle at Night, which is an anthology of Indigenous authors' horror works. I'm reading that very slowly, and you will see that in another vlog. It's short story collection, so I'm just reading one story whenever I have the chance. But today I really need need to get into like a real audiobook. It's late already. It's like 12 o'clock and I haven't started work. It's been a busy weekend, so I know everybody else is behind too, so I don't feel too bad about it, but I need to get into the meat of an audiobook and really settle into working today. So I do have the audiobook for Oh My Mother by Connie Wang. This is a memoir in 9 adventures. I did start reading this physically, I've mentioned before, and I put it down because it just wasn't the right time, but when I saw it pop up on audio last week, I grabbed it while it was still available, and I do want to read this. It's a very short audiobook, only about 6 hours, so I could probably get through that today and tomorrow while I'm working, but I'm kind of more in the mood for a mystery, and it is officially Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Thank goodness. I wait all year for March Mystery Madness and Cloak and Dagger Christmas to come around. I need those mystery times. Even though I read mysteries all year round, I love those 2 readathons, whether they're actually put on or not, because I don't even know if they're doing Cloak and Dagger Christmas this year. Before November was out, I did grab the audio on Hoopla as my last audio book for November of The Window at the White Cat by Mary Robert Reinhardt. This is such a great cover. I've never seen these tiny Dell editions of Reinhardt's work before, and look at this incredible map on the back. Like, so fantastic. I love this edition. I think this would be a great edition to read. The font is not that small, not for this kind of book, but I will probably read this on audio. I really like to read Mary Robert Reinhardt's book on audio. I think I have 3 copies of this book too, so I could pick and choose and read a copy as well, but I love this one for my collection. So yeah, I'm in the mood for mystery, and I did get that as my last borrow for last month because I wanted to make sure I had all my borrows, because I often run out of borrows. I only get 7 on my Hoopla, so I often run out of borrows on my Hoopla, so I wanted to get one in while I still had one. I'm sure that's a really short audiobook, probably only like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And then while I was looking for my other copies of this, which I could not find, I picked up The Santa Claus Murder by Mavis Doral Hay. I've never read any Mavis Doral Hay. Look, that's a great cover. Very Christmassy. And I do like to read a bit of a Christmas book at Christmas time. I don't do it very often, read seasonally, I mean, but I do at Christmas time sometimes like to pick up a cozy mystery. Last year I read an anthology of mysteries, and that was fun. But this year, maybe I'll pick this one up because I forgot I had it. Probably not going to start this until I've finished one of these, which will be in a couple days. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned here. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know where you're at in your Toni Morrison journey. Let's see, let's think about it. This week, I have to work today. I have to work tomorrow. It's payroll, so I have to work a lot both days. Wednesday, I'll have to submit payroll, which is a lot of work as well. I really am getting close in my cleaning of the office to be able to reorganize my bookshelves. So there is going to be a video coming on that, and I am hoping to get to that by like the end of the week. My husband is working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then he's probably working from home on Thursday. So I feel like I need to get a lot done in the first 4 days of the week, and because it's the start of a new month, I have plenty to do at work. Over the weekend, I'm going to my last book sale of the year and of my caveats for Read What You Own. I definitely plan on stopping into a couple more like small businesses. We have those Christmas gifts that we need to work on because we need to send those out, so that is a fun thing that we might do. We'll see what we get up to for the rest of the week.
Power counts for absolutely nothing. How your entire empire of destruction comes crashing down, all because of one little cherry. One little. What a lovely ballet. It seems so full of form and colour.
Hi, it's Mo. We have some dramatic lighting right now because I'm in here with the plants. The whole house is full of plants now because we're having to bring all the plants in. I didn't talk about at the end of the last vlog that I did finish my 200th book of the year. I read Barracoon by Zora Neale Hurston. This is the story of the last black cargo, and this is a oral history about a man who was one of the last enslaved people who came over on a slave trading trip. On a slave trading boat. Then it is Zora Neale Hurston going to visit this man and to talk to him about his experiences and about his life as an enslaved person. But really this has more to do with his life before being an enslaved person. So it was really interesting. It's told all in dialect. It's told in a very author-inserted way where we see Zora Neale Hurston talking to him like it's written into the book. So she plays a role and her experience with him plays a role. How he wanted to talk to her, didn't want to talk to her plays a role. So it was really interesting. I really liked it. You can see more of my thoughts of this in my November wrap-up, which I think is coming out after this video. I don't know. It's hard to say with Vlogmas and all the different videos. It was my 200th book of the year, and that is, I think, more books than I've ever read in a year. Certainly more books than I've ever read in a year since starting BookTube. So it is a little bit of a milestone. I'm interested to see how it's going to change the landscape of my reading, having read over 200 books this year. It's Wednesday night, so Monday I talked to you. Monday I worked, Tuesday I worked, this morning I worked, and now, hey, get out of there. What are you doing? No. Not much going on. I did take some footage of all those days. I'm trying to pick my next audiobook. I think I'm definitely going to pick one of these. These are 3 of the oldest cat cozy mysteries on my TBR, and I really need to read a cat cozy mystery to finish up a video. So I don't know which one I want to read. I'm going to decide between these 3. I did read the entirety of The Window with the White Cat, and it was good. Hopefully tomorrow and the rest of the week we'll have more to talk about, more to do, more to discuss. I was thinking how it wasn't my intention to schedule these vlogs to be the weekends at the end of every vlog, but it kind of is nice, so you get the boring stuff out of the way in the beginning, and then at the end of the vlog you probably get more exciting things because we're going and doing more things. It's fine not to have much to say. All I did was work all week. Saturday night. I don't think I've updated this vlog very much, but I wanted to come on real quick. I have not looked at the Goodreads winners. Last week's vlog, I put in me picking the long list. I actually did pick the short list, I think, in that week, but I'm including it in this vlog, and then I wanted to also include my reaction to the winners because I haven't looked at the winners yet. So let me get a screen recording started, and I'll put it up over here so you can see it too. I don't know. People have not been happy about it seems like, but they're never happy about it because it's a dumb... The Goodreads Choice Awards is like a dumb thing, and people continue to be like aggravated by it, but I'm not ever aggravated by it because it's so dumb. But I do feel like it's one more aggravating dumb thing that's been going on. Like, the Pantone color of the year is shocking, like really quite something, and it makes me wonder like what Pantone's affiliations are, for sure. They're often tone deaf. I think it was 2020 maybe that they did the baby pink and baby blue colors, like at a time when awareness for transgender life and reality was really coming to the fore, or maybe it was 2019 actually. And I feel like that was very definitely like a signifier that they did not know what was going on, to put like a very traditional binary color. Now, granted, those colors have only been binary male-female colors since like the 70s, because in the late 70s and 80s it came into prominence that like boys couldn't wear pink and girls couldn't wear blue or whatever, or like they signified the genders. So like the gender binary idea, you know, was often different. Like yellow was used a lot, and colors like that were used a lot, to my knowledge, from what I have researched, from what I've read. It was really just disappointing that they chose a very binary idea of color and a very divided, and made specifically two colors. Like they've only had two colors in one year, like one other time, and they specifically chose a year where we were talking about there being non-binary options, where that the binary was not fitting everyone's life and lifestyle. So it was like really disappointing, and I feel like this year echoes that a lot for me, and I see the outrage that people are having, for sure. I agree. If you don't know what the Pantone color of the year is, Pantone picks a color every year in December that's going to be like the colorway of the next year. So it's going to be a trending color, it's going to be color that shows up a lot. It's going to be utilized by different fashion designers and home decor designers and all those kind of people to create things using that trending color. Pantone says that it's picked by like the politics, the culture, the ideas that are floating around. It's chosen by the vibe of the year, essentially, and they picked white. Like white. It does have a little like hint of gray to it. It's a pretty white, but like you're telling me that the trend for the next year, after looking at all the politics and after looking at all the culture, after looking at all the trends, like it's gonna be white? Anyway, so that's my disappointment about the Pantone color. And now let's move on to my disappointment about the Goodreads Choice Awards. Okay. Fiction, My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Well, I'm not surprised, especially with A Man Called Oooh coming out not too long ago. People really know Frederick Bachman. At least this is a translated work, I do believe. Because I think Frederick Bachman is a Scandinavian author, is he not? Translated by Neale Smith, yes. Okay, so this is a translated work. That's cool, that's exciting. Wild Dark Shore came in next, which I'm surprised. The Correspondent, my friend Marilyn, just told me that this was really good, so that made me excited to read it. I had it on my want to read list, obviously. Wow, Emperor of Gladness was 8th. Yeah, that's what I voted for. I like that it says, like, your choice. It's crazy how much the people of color are just all grouped at the bottom. It's really disturbing. I'm surprised that Jojo Moyes didn't get higher, because, and even the Ellen Hildebrand, I would have thought would have been a little bit higher. I mean, it did place 5th and 7th, but I guess because of the rise of Frederick Bachman and the idea of the movies and stuff, that does make sense. And I'm glad that it's a translated work and not just like a straight American work. Atmosphere for fiction. Well, I remember when Taylor Jenkins Reid was just like a booktube darling and people like didn't even know about her stuff. But I think with the TV series of Daisy Jones and the Six. Like, she's gotten just so much more popular, and people love her. And people loved this book. The Secret Book Society, I don't know. I'm surprised that Sarah Penner made it so high. What did I vote for? Oh, I voted for Amity, which was, it's the last choice. I'm also interested in the Lilac People. I actually had an opportunity to get that the other day and I didn't get it. It just seems kind of heavy. Homeseeking is on my want to read. The Hounding is on my want to read. Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson is on my want to read list. Isola is on my want to read list. I guess I'm surprised that the Fiona Davis didn't come higher, that the David Balducci didn't come higher, but I'm not overall surprised at all with the winner. And I'm not unhappy for it. I like Taylor Jenkins Reid, and when I find this book, I will definitely read it. I think the only book that I'm not going to read by her is Daisy Jones and the Six, because I'm just not interested in that one. Interesting, the Holly Jackson won mystery thriller. I guess she has been on the Goodreads quite a bit before, but Frida McFadden did not win, which is exciting. I know everybody was really worried about that, but came in second. Richard Osman, The Impossible Fortune. I read that one. I liked it. It's the fifth in a series. Like, why would you put that? I don't know why I'm like crouching. Vera Wong is what I voted for. It came in sixth. That's not bad. I'm surprised the Lisa Jewell didn't come in higher. I'm surprised more of the Frida McFaddens didn't come in higher. Holly Jackson, again, Good Girl's Guide to Murder was a TV show last year or the year before, so she must be getting a lot more buzz. Romance. Emily Henry, no surprise there. Abby Jimenez, no surprise. Carly Fortune, no surprise. Allie Hazelwood, no surprise. The Lane Fargo being that high, I'm a little bit surprised about. The Scythe and Sparrow being in 8th place, I'm a little bit surprised about. I'm surprised that Problematic Summer Romance wasn't higher. I voted for Kennedy Ryan. I do want to read that one. Romantasy is next. Onyx Storm. Oh, Alchemist was number 2. Well, that is not really a surprise either. People were really loving that. Thought I voted for A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, but maybe... What did I vote for? Oh, I voted for Immortal by Sue Lynn Tan. That makes sense, too. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, I am interested in. The Night and the Moth, I am interested in. Actually, Suzanne said that the first of the Hallie Hazelwood paranormal. This is the second one, but Suzanne said the first one was good. I wasn't originally interested in reading that, but now I am. Fantasy, Barrier Bones in the Midnight Soil, V.E. Schwab, Catabasis, Brandon Sanderson, sure. Stephanie Garber. I'm surprised that made it so high. Surprised the Amelia Hart made it so high. I voted The River Has Roots. Yeah. I read A Drop of Corruption. I like that one. I want to read a bunch of these. You know me, I'm not like a fantasy person, but there's a lot of these that look good. The Compound one. I'm a little bit surprised about that, but I guess it was like Jenna Reads or something, so I guess that makes sense. I am interested in reading that one. Horror. Grady Hendrix. Interesting. Stephen King second. Surprising. Stephen Graham Jones third. Oh, Bat Eater came in really high. That's fun. You Weren't Meant to Be Human came in pretty high too. It's 12th, but like, surprised it even came that high. Debut novel. Alchemist. Funny. Onyx Storm for audiobook. Atmosphere next. I'm surprised it wasn't the Emily Henry because it's Julia Whalen. So, you know. All right, let's get through these young adult. Sunrise and the Reaping. No surprise. Hazel Thorne made it into the top 10 though. That's exciting. Fake Skating, young adult fiction. I didn't even know that was in this category. Everything is Tuberculosis. Well, that's cool. Oh, wow. One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This was third. I mean, it's kind of balanced out by Mel Robbins being second, but okay. Service Berry's fourth. That's cool. A memoir, The House of My Mother by Sherry Frankie. I don't know this case. I guess this is like the YouTube thing, and the YouTubers who posted about their children and also abused their children, not to get attention, but like because they were posting about their children, it was abuse, if that makes sense. And there was like real physical and mental abuse there as well, but that's not something that I would ever read or follow. How to Kill a Witch, The Patriarchy's Guide to Silencing Women, won for history and biography. Well, that's interesting. And that's it. Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Well, you know, no surprises. Nothing shocking, nothing interesting at all, actually. My camera died. Today we went to the Wall Library sale. This is the last book sale that I get to go to until March, and the last time I get to buy books because it was like caveat in my Read What You Own challenge. I'm going to talk more about my Read What You Own challenge in next week's vlog. So I did buy a lot of books. Mostly they go into collections. Mostly they don't go on my TBR. A lot of Agatha Christie, a lot of Mary Robert Reinhardt's, a couple of P.D. James. So I'm excited that I did get to go. It was fun, but coming home and seeing all the books was pretty intense. So I definitely need to step up my game with the Read What You Own, step up my game not buying books. So I have to figure something out for 2026. I have some fun ideas for 2026 for reading, but like, I don't know what to do. I want to go to book sales. I love book sales. I love buying books, but we gotta pare down the TBR. We gotta work on it. So I'm gonna do that. We bought some craft items the other day. So we were supposed to work on crafts, but I came home and I fell asleep and took a very long nap with the cats. Tomorrow, I hope we don't do that much except staying home and crafting. And I would like to take a walk because I think it's not supposed to be super, super cold tomorrow. Oh my God, it's late. It's 10:25. That's what happens when you take a 3-hour nap in the middle of the day. I'll see you tomorrow. And now it's not deep at all. Wow. Okay, you guessed it. It is Monday morning. I did not finish updating you yesterday, but I wanted to come on here and update you really quick. So something that I forgot about these Vlogmas weekly vlogs, or these Bookmas weekly vlogs, is that I kind of loosely themed them in my head. The first week was getting back into vlogging. It was like 0.5, so it wasn't like a real vlog. You know, it was, but it wasn't part of Vlogmas, but it was part of Vlogmas. You know how it goes. This week, the first official week, I feel like has been the Goodreads week, right? And the week of wrapping things up. So I'm gonna also put my like Spotify wrap here. I don't listen to music that much anymore, which is a shame. It's sad. One, we have a record player, so we listen to records, not super, super often, but often enough. And then I really only ever listen to music in the car, and I really only do that when I'm with my husband and I'm not reading an audiobook. So music has definitely taken a side seat, a passenger seat to audiobooks and to reading in general. I cannot read and listen to music at the same time. I could listen to like classical music or music without lyrics, maybe, but I find it very distracting. And I've kind of always been like that. I used to listen to music constantly, but I could never like listen to music with lyrics and read at the same time. I mean, I can do it, but I don't enjoy doing it. My Spotify wrap is not like that exciting. And the only reason that I have Spotify is that my BFF had an extra in her family plan. Very, very, very kindly lent it to me. And I love that. And I want to listen to more music. And I might make that a goal in the new year to try and like find new music and listen to new music. But it was not a goal this year. So it's much better than the first year I had it, because I think I only got it in like August or something. So this year is a little bit more interesting, at least, my Spotify wrap. But on the whole, I don't think it's accurate. Similar to Goodreads, I don't think it's wholly accurate. Like, I think that it is influenced by consumerism and by capitalism, and I think that it is designed to make you purchase things and to reward the people making money and not the consumer, obviously, and all that stuff. To me, this week was kind of influenced by that. I feel like I'm just seeing everybody's wrapped up. I'm seeing everybody's YouTube wrapped. I'm seeing all that stuff. I don't even know how to look at the YouTube wrap. I should probably try to figure that out. I think it's probably on your phone, like on your app, and I never use the app on my phone. So if it is, then I'm out on that one. If it's not, maybe I'll figure out how to show you what was. If I had to guess for YouTube, in my top spots would definitely be Books and Lala. I watch all of her content, and she's really the only person that I watch every single video of, because I don't like book hauls. I don't like a lot of other very normal videos that people do. I don't really like single book recommendations. I don't really like any of that. She is up there. Criminali's probably up there, even though I don't watch every single one of his videos. Simon Savage is probably up there. I watched a lot of Allie Do I Read this year, so maybe she's in my top like 5. I love Sarah Freshly and Freshly Read Books. I don't know how it works. Like, I don't know if it's by how many videos of each person you watch or hour-wise. Like, I don't know. And I might not even be able to show it to you because I might not be able to see it myself. So anyway, another thing I wanted to mention this week is the plants moving in. That was kind of a theme of the week too. I did buy a new plant. We have all these plants that need space, but like I couldn't resist it. This huge, beautiful plant, my Restore, my Habitat for Humanity Restore by me is selling them for like 20 bucks. So I'm gonna go buy another one too, because I love plants and I love big plants. I think every house should have animals of some variety, plants, musical instruments, and books. Those are the 4 things that I think like 100 make a home. I would never live anywhere without my cats. If it happens one day that I'm without cats, we'll reassess, but thank goodness I have not been without cats for a long time. I would never live anywhere without plants, and I would never live anywhere without books. I don't even play musical instruments, but I think musical instruments are essential to a home feeling like a home. So plants are a little bit of theme of this week. Food is a little bit of theme this week. I tried to be better this week about showing you what I was eating throughout the week. Yesterday we went to Hey Peach. You will have seen that. Hey Peach is my current favorite bakery around me. It's so good. It's so nice. It's family owned. The food is delicious. They mostly have sweet pastries, but they have some savory pastries, and they have bread. We used to go to a local bakery that was family owned, that was probably Italian immigrant owned at one point, but they started selling themed items that I would never support a business who supported that particular group of people and political party and all that stuff. So we had to stop going there, which is a shame because we did really like it there. And they had people of color working for them. And like I said, they kind of hinge on being like Nona made things, and then they turned out to be racist just like many other people, so we don't go there anymore. And it was sad, but now we have Hey Peach, and Hey Peach is wonderful. Next week, I have kind of a theme planned. The following week, I have kind of a theme planned. And then I think it's the last week, so I don't know if it'll just be like a last week kind of theme. But I wanted to come in here and just talk about that, and I've seen more discourse and more conversation around Goodreads and around the Pantone Color of the Year, which kind of goes along with this theme as well. I'm glad that it's sparking conversation, I guess, is what I am glad for. I just watched Books and Lala's tier ranking video, and she like had stuff to say. She never doesn't say what she's thinking and what she's feeling about certain topics, but like you could tell that she made that with a design to talk about some stuff, which I appreciated and I enjoyed. I'm gonna turn the camera off and I'm gonna start the next video. Hope you had a good first official week of Vlogmas, first official week of Bookmas. I hope you had a good first week of December. Can you believe we don't even have that much more in 2025? I am starting to think about like goals for 2026, music, reading, life, things like that. So let me know if you have any like pre-planning that you've been doing for 2026. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.